Good evening students, and welcome back to our online classes of English Language Standard 6th. So students, recently we are studying tenses. Okay, we have started learning tenses, and in the last period we have seen the various rules of simple present tense. But students, I know that you are feeling little bit boring learning these tenses, but I can assure you, or I can tell you that if once you learn the formation of the tenses, if you learn tenses perfectly, then you can form various sentences, and definitely it will increase your speaking confidence automatically. So students, in the last period we have seen various forms of be verb, okay, and they are also known as the helping verbs. Which are they? Am, is, are, was, were. These are the forms of be verb, okay, and we call them as helping verbs, okay. Now we are going to see the next rule, okay. So the form of be can be used as auxiliary verb, okay, and we can use this auxiliary verb to make the continuous tenses, okay. Now students, as I have told you, our sixth rule is that the various forms of be are used as auxiliaries in the continuous tenses. Now we are talking about continuous tenses. In continuous tenses we are using the form of be, the verbs of be as auxiliaries in the continuous tenses, okay. Now you can see here the examples. The dog is barking. Now students, what is the formula of present continuous tense, okay. So in the present continuous tense we are using am, is, are plus verb plus ing. So this is the formula of our present continuous tense, and we are using am, is, are plus verb plus ing in the present continuous tense. Now here I have written the sentence, the dog is barking, okay. The dog is barking. Here the dog is the subject. The dog is the subject, and is one of the verb of to be, okay. It is acting as a helping verb or auxiliary. We can call helping verbs as auxiliary verbs also, okay. So is here working as or acting as auxiliary verb, okay. We can also call it helping verb or auxiliary verb. So I am writing here auxiliary verb, okay. And bark is the verb here. Bark is the verb, and we have added ing to that verb, okay. Bark is the verb here, and we have added ing to this verb, so it has become present continuous tense. The dog is barking. So have you understood students? The dog is subject here. Is auxiliary verb, or we can call it helping verb also, and bark is the verb here, and we have added ing to that verb. So we can, our sentence is the dog is barking, and this sentence is of present continuous tense, okay. Now see the second sentence. The children were playing in the garden. Now our subject is the children, okay. The children is the subject. Then where. Now again where is used as auxiliary verb here, and main verb is play, and we have added ing to that verb, and it has become playing. The children were playing in the garden. In the garden is our object. Play is verb and we have added ing to that verb, and we have used here where because we are using was and where. We are using was oblique where. These are also the verbs of to be that we used in the past tense. Okay, this auxiliary verbs we are using in past tense. Okay, this was and where we are using in the past tense. Now the children were playing in the garden. So this sentence is also of continuous tense, but only difference is that the first sentence is of present continuous tense and the second sentence that we have written here is of past continuous tense. The subject here is we used here is children, and children is used for so many children, means so many small children were playing there. It is a plural, so we have used here where. Okay, so the children were playing in the garden. So in this sentence the children is the subject, that is plural, so we have used here where, that is was and where. I have already told you that we are using was and where in the past tense. The children were playing. Our main verb is play and we have added ing to that verb, means the action that is not finished. The action of playing is not finished. The action is still continue. So the children were playing in the garden. This is our sentence. Okay, and this sentence is of past continuous tense. The children were playing in the garden means when we are describing the past tense or the past actions at that time, in the past tense, in the past that action was still continue, so we are using the past continuous tense. Okay, so the children were playing in the garden. This is our sentence and I have told you that the children is the subject and this subject is plural. We are using children for plural subject. Okay, subject that is plural, and so we have used here where. If the subject is singular here, then we have used here was. Okay, if the subject is singular, at that time we have to use here was. Okay, the children were playing in the garden. So as we have added ing to this verb, so it indicates that this is the sentence of past continuous tense. Okay, now let's move toward the third sentence, and definitely when you will read this sentence you will come to know that this sentence is of future continuous tense. Now in future continuous tense we are using helping verb will be or shall be. Okay, will be or shall be. So this will be or shall be is also known as auxiliary verb. We can say we can call them auxiliary verbs or we can call them helping verbs also. Okay, so in the future tense we are using future tense we are using will be and shall be. I hope that you have studied it in your previous classes. So the plane is the subject here. Okay, and as we are talking about the future tense, so we are using here will be. For future tense we are using will be or shall be, that I have given here. Okay, and when we are talking about the future continuous tense, again we have to add ing to the verb. When we are adding ing to the verb, whether it is in the present tense, if it is in present tense then it becomes the present continuous tense. If it is in past tense it becomes the past continuous tense, and if it is future tense then it becomes the future continuous tense. Okay. So to identify the sentence of a continuous tense, only two things are required. One is you have to identify the helping verb or auxiliary verb, plus you have to see whether the verb has added ing or not. If the verb is added with ing, then you can easily identify that this is the sentence of continuous tense. But to know which type of tense it is, then you have to find out the auxiliary. You have to look at the auxiliary verb, or you have to look at the helping verb, whether it is of present tense, whether it is of past tense, or whether it is of future tense. Then you will easily understand that the particular sentence is of future tense, the particular sentence is of past tense, or the particular sentence is of present tense. Okay. So here, as we have used here will be, so it indicates that this sentence is of the future tense, future continuous tense, and we have added ing to this verb. So this sentence is of future continuous tense. So the plain is the subject here, and will be is the auxiliary verb or helping verb, or we can say helping verb. Okay. So, and live is the main verb here. Live is the main verb, and we have added ing to that verb. Okay. At midnight, this is the object. This is the object. Okay. So the plane will be leaving at midnight. This is our sentence, and this sentence is of future continuous tense. So have you understood, students? Now in detail, when we will learn one by one each and every tense, at that time you will get all the information in detail, or you will study each and every tense in detail when we are going to study one by one each and every tense. Okay. So I hope that up to now have you understood. I have told you the information about these tenses in very short, but in brief we are going to study when we will study all the tenses one by one. At that time you will get the perfect information. Okay. So let's move further. Now students, see the next rule. The various forms of be are used as auxiliaries to form the negative sentence is like this. The dog is not barking. Means after the auxiliary we have to add not. The dog is not barking. Now see the second sentence. The children were not playing in the garden. Our sentence is the children were, after this auxiliary you have to add, after this auxiliary you have to add not here to make the negative sentence. Okay. Were not. The children were not playing in the garden. Now see the third one. The plane will not be leaving at midnight. So which is our auxiliary? Will. Okay. The plane will not, and we have added not between this auxiliary. The plane will not be leaving at midnight. So like this we have made the negative sentences. Okay. We are forming the negative sentences, and for that only you have to add not after the auxiliary verb. Okay. So have you understood this rule? Now let's move forward. Now students, see the next rule. The various forms of be are used as auxiliaries when we are forming the interrogative, when we are using the interrogative form. Now see the example. Is the dog barking? Previously we have written the sentence the dog is barking. So here we have to use that auxiliary verb in the starting is, then we have to write down the subject, that is the dog. And then we have to write down the verb plus ing, that is barking, in the last. Then we have to give the question mark. Okay, is the dog barking? This is our interrogative sentence. Now see, where the children playing? Same we have done here in the second sentence also. We have written previously, the children were playing in the garden. This is our sentence. So the auxiliary that we have used here in the starting. Where the children. The children is the subject. Then we have used here playing. Play plus ing, playing. That shows the continuous tense. Okay. Where the children playing? In the garden. This is our interrogative sentence. Okay. Then about the future tense, we have to form the interrogative sentence. Then we have to use the auxiliary verb of be in the starting. Will the plane be? We have to start the sentence with will. Then we have to write down the subject, the plane. Then we have to use be. Then verb plus ing, living at midnight. So this is our sentence or interrogative sentence of future tense. Okay. So by this you have understood that the formula of making interrogative sentence is that you have to use is plus, we have used here the dog, that is the subject, plus verb, that is barking. Is plus the subject plus barking. And where plus the subject, the children, plus playing. Okay. So this is all about the interrogative sentence. Now we are going to see the various forms of have. As we have seen the various forms of be. Am, is, are, was, were, will be, shall be. These are the forms of be verbs. Okay. Now we are going to see the various forms of have that used as auxiliaries in the perfect tense. Okay. Now we have seen all this. All these sentences of the simple present tense. Now we are going to see the present perfect tense. Okay. Now students, as we have studied earlier the various forms of. Now students, earlier or previously we have seen the various forms of be verb. Okay. Now we are going to study the various forms of have verb. Okay. So the various forms of the have are used as auxiliaries in the perfect tense. Okay. Now see the first example. Unnati has left school last year. Unnati has left school last year. So in this sentence, Unnati is the subject and has is the form of have verb. Okay. Has is the form of have verb and we have used here left. Okay. Unnati has left school last year. So this is the sentence of present perfect tense. Present perfect tense. Now see the second sentence. We had studied this poem earlier. So in this sentence, we is the subject, had is the form of have. Okay. We had studied this poem earlier. But students, if you notice that we have used had here and had we are using in the past perfect tense. Okay. So because of this helping verb or because of this auxiliary verb, we can identify that this sentence is of past perfect tense. In the past perfect tense, we are using had plus past participle of the verb or past participle of the verb. So that is the formula of the past perfect tense. Okay. So the first sentence is of the present perfect tense and second sentence is of the past perfect tense. So in this way we can use the various forms of have in the sentences. Now see the next one. Now students, see the second rule about the forms of have. The forms of have are used as auxiliaries to form the negative sentence also. Now see, we have taken the same example but only we have added not in this sentence. Unnati has left school last year. This is our sentence and we have added only not in this sentence. Unnati has not left school last year. Okay. Now see this sentence. We had not studied this poem earlier, and we have added not here in this sentence to make it negative. Okay. The sentence is the same. First sentence is of the present perfect tense and second sentence is of the past perfect tense. Okay. Have you understood? Now let's move further. Now students, see, we are going to see the form of have used as auxiliaries in the interrogative sentence. Means how to form the interrogative sentence. Now the auxiliary verb has we have used in the starting, has unnati, then we have taken the subject unnati and then we have used here the verb left. Has Unnati left school last year? Like this we have formed the sentence, and this is the interrogative sentence. Now see the second one, had, that is the form of have we have taken in the starting. Had, then we have taken the subject we, then we have taken the verb, that is studied this poem earlier. Had we studied this poem earlier. So in this way we have formed the interrogative sentence. And now next one, about the future tense. When we are forming the sentence of interrogative sentence of future tense, will Wendy have gone to sleep by 8 o'clock? Now we have used the auxiliary verb in the starting, then we have used subject here. Okay, then we have used have, then we have used here verb, then remaining sentence, will Wendy have gone to sleep by 8 o'clock? Like this we have formed the interrogative sentence. Means if you have noticed, we have used has plus the subject, that is unnati, and we have used left, and then we have written the remaining sentence and given the question mark. Then in the second sentence we have used had plus subject plus studied and remaining sentence, and then we have given question mark in the last, and in the last sentence we have used will plus Windy, that is the subject, then we have used have gone, and we have written remaining sentence to make the interrogative sentence. Okay. So have you understood how we have formed the interrogative sentences? Now next we are going to see the forms of do. Okay. Now students, we are studying the forms of do. Okay. So when we are using the various forms of do in the simple present tense or in the simple past tense, the sentences will be like this. If we are doing the affirmative, if we are writing the affirmative sentence, the sentence will be like this: the horse gallops fast. So this is our affirmative sentence. We have not used here not in the sentence. Okay, we haven't used not in this sentence. So this is our affirmative sentence. The sentence in which we are using not, they are known as the negative sentence. Okay. So this is our affirmative sentence and this is of the simple present tense. The horse gallops fast. Here we have used the verb gallops, and that shows the tense of simple present tense. Okay. This is the verb of simple present tense because we have added s to the verb. The horse gallops fast. If we want to make negative sentence of this, only we have to use or we have to add does not. Okay. The horse does not gallop fast. Means only we have to add the verb of do, that is does not gallops fast. Okay. Now see students, first sentence is of simple present tense. Now see students, the first sentence that we have written here is of simple present tense, and how we have identified that this sentence is of simple present tense, because we have used verb plus s here. The horse gallops fast. Gallop is our verb and we have added s to that. So this shows that this sentence is of the simple present tense. Okay. Now if we want to make negative sentence of this, only we have to add does not to this sentence, and the sentence will be like this: the horse does not gallop fast. Have you understood? Now see the second sentence, that is of the simple past tense. The sentence is like this: they talked to the principal. Now as in the simple present tense we have added s to the verb, same in the simple past tense we have added ed to the verb. They talked to the principal. Which is the verb in the sentence? Talk. Talk is the verb in the sentence and we have added ed to that verb. So it is the sentence of the simple past tense. And if we want to form the negative sentence of this sentence, then our sentence will be like this: they did not talk to the principal. We have to use did not here. Okay, we have to use here did not. They did not talk to the principal. And why we have used here did not? Because this sentence is of the simple past tense. Okay, so in this sentence we have used did not talk to the principal. Have you understood? Now let's move forward. Now students, we have seen that we have formed the negative sentence: the horse does not gallop fast. Okay, so we have used does here as a helping verb. Okay, auxiliary verb. Our auxiliary verb is does here. Okay, so if we want to form the interrogative sentence, we have to use that auxiliary verb in the starting. Does the horse gallop fast? And we have to remove s from the verb. Okay, does the horse gallop fast? Like this will be our interrogative sentence. Okay, now see the second sentence: they did not talk to the principal. We have used here did. Okay, we have used did as a auxiliary verb. Okay, so to form the interrogative sentence we have to use that did into the starting. Did, then we have to use subject. Did they, then we have to write down the main verb, that is talk to the principal, and don't forget to give the question mark. Did they talk to the principal? Like this means using that auxiliary that we have used in the negative sentence, we have to use that only to form the interrogative sentence. Okay, so have you understood? Now last rule that we are going to see. Now students, see this rule: when using do in the interrogative sentence, when we are using the form of do in the sentence, interrogative sentence, we put the appropriate form of do before the subject. subject of the sentence, and then the original form of the main verb. Now see here, when we are using the do in interrogative sentence, when we are using do in the interrogative sentence or the verbs of do in the interrogative sentence, at that time we have to use the appropriate form of do before the subject of the sentence. Means before we are writing the subject of the sentence, we have to use the appropriate form of do, and then we have to use the original form of the verb. Now see, in the first sentence we have used here does plus the horse does the horse, and the horse is our subject. Does the horse plus gallop, that is the original form of the verb. Original form of the verb, okay? And then question mark. शुरू नहीं है ना? Now see the second one, did plus they, that is our subject, okay, and then we have used here the verb talk, that is the original form of the verb, original form of the verb, okay. Then we have to give question mark. Means have you understood that what I am trying to tell you? We are using, when we want to form the interrogative sentence, at that time we have to use the proper form of the do verb, okay. So we have written here does plus the horse is the subject here, okay, plus gallop. Here we have used gallop, that is the original form of the verb, and we have given question mark. Then in the second sentence, that is of the past tense, did, simple past tense, we have used here we have used here the appropriate form of do verb, that is did, because it is of the past tense. The sentence is of the past tense. So we have used here did plus the subject they plus we have used here talk, that is our original form of the verb, that is the original form of the verb, okay. In this way we have formed the interrogative sentence. We can form the interrogative sentence. Now students, question number A, speak out the sentences given below in negative form and then in interrogative form. Now this exercise we have to solve. Speak out the sentences given below in negative form and then in interrogative form. Means the sentence is given here and you have to make negative as well as interrogative form of the sentence, okay. Now see the first sentence. Now students see, we have to make negative sentence and after that we have to make interrogative sentence of this sentence. Now see, Janet attends karate class every Saturday. This is our sentence. Now if you can watch this sentence, you will discover that, or you will see that Janet attends. So we have used verb plus s here, that indicates that this is the sentence of the simple present tense. So Janet attends karate class every Saturday. This is our sentence, and if we want to make it negative, we have to write down Janet does not does not attend karate class every Saturday. This is our negative sentence. And if we want to make interrogative sentence of this, we have to use the auxiliary verb does in the starting. Does Janet attend karate class Does Janet attend karate class every Saturday? This is our interrogative sentence. So have you understood? As previously we have seen in the sentence of the horse gallop fast. The horse gallops fast. In that sentence we have seen the negative sentence. The horse does not gallop fast. So the sentence is the same like this. Here Janet attends karate class every Saturday. So we have used negative sentence. Janet does not attend karate class every Saturday. And we have used the interrogative sentence of that. Does Janet attend karate class every Saturday? So have you understood? Now see the second sentence. Now see students, the delivery man delivers the parcel every day. So which is the verb here? Delivers. That is of the simple present tense. The delivery man delivers the parcel every day. Now we have to form the negative sentence. So we will write like this. The delivery man does not deliver the parcel every day. Now to make interrogative sentence we have to use same auxiliary verb in the starting. Does the delivery man deliver the parcel every day? Like this. Now see the third sentence. The vegetable vendor comes to our housing estate every evening. Now see, we have to make negative as well as interrogative sentence of this sentence. Okay. Now the vegetable vendor comes to our housing estate every evening. Now our main verb is comes. Okay. Main verb is comes here. So it shows that this sentence is of simple present tense. So we will to form the negative sentence we will write like this. The vegetable vendor does not come to our housing estate every evening. And to make the interrogative sentence, we have to use this auxiliary in the starting. Does the vegetable vendor come to our housing estate every evening? And question mark. So have you understood how to form the negative sentence as well as interrogative sentence? Now students, remaining sentence you have to solve in your notebook, okay? That is your home assignment. So I would like to stop here. Without forget, you have to solve the remaining sentences in your notebook, and don't forget to take picture of that, and you have to send me it on my WhatsApp number. Okay, so this makes me to stop here. I would like to stop here. Till then, you have to take care of yourself, and bye for now. Bye bye.